All right, court is calling 2022 CR 7549, State of Texas versus Devin Strike. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
Vince?
Adam LaHood for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Devin Strike?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on September 5th of no contest. And there was a request for a PSI and TAP evaluation. According to your plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. Just one question. They said a DDRF and mixed screen was set for, I believe, today, say the 26th.
Yes.
I didn't know that was done. That's, other than that, it's not an objection, Your Honor. I was just curious if it was completed.
No, if it's scheduled for today, it's not completed.
That would make sense.
Yeah, no problem. So have you had a chance to review the TAP evaluation as well?
I have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation from either party?
No, Your Honor. Nothing in the public defense, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We're here. Mr. Strike, he took responsibility for the action. He acknowledges he messed up, Judge. We're hoping the court will grant him deferred. Obviously, he completes it, can have a very good outcome for him. Let him avoid a felony record and felony conviction for the rest of his life. If he messes up, he's facing up to 2 years in state jail, which is day for day. He understands how serious this is, Your Honor, and respectfully would ask the court to follow the plea and grant him deferred adjudication today.
All right, Mr. Strike, is there anything you wish to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Devin Strike.
All right, do you have any support system, family, or are you just on your own?
I have a support system.
I'm sorry, who?
I have a support system.
All right, who's your support system?
My mom, my girlfriend.
All right, do you live with your mom?
No,
Who do you live with?
my girlfriend.
All right, and how old is she?
28,
All right, and how old are you?
21.
All right, do you all have children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I remember this case. That's why I asked you that. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, when's the last time you used?
Never. Well, not never, but a long time ago.
Well, I mean, you're,
Since the day of the arrest.
so you're saying that you haven't used and you were not using the drugs that you're here for today?
Mhm.
You're gonna have to say yes or no.
No, ma'am.
Are you employed?
No, ma'am.
So you're not supporting yourself.
No, ma'am.
So how are you surviving? When I say surviving, if you don't have employment, you have to eat, you have to drink water or drink something, you have shelter, obviously. So how are you supporting yourself? How do you eat? And when I say how do you eat, how are you getting food?
My girlfriend.
All right. And how old is the child?
She's 5 months.
And is she in daycare or what?
You know,
So where is she now?
at home.
With your girlfriend?
Mhm.
Okay, you need to say yes or no. And does your girlfriend work?
Yes, ma'am.
And what does she do?
She works from home.
Why don't you have a job?
Because I'm waiting on the disability check to see if I'm qualified.
All right, have you put in for disability?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your disability?
I have schizophrenia.
Okay. All right. Did anybody see whether or not he would be a good candidate for mental health court? Was that even looked at? And the reason why I'm asking, I see his criminal history, but let me just tell everybody what my concern is. my concern is, obviously there's an issue with him staying on his medication. We have a 5-month-old at home. The girlfriend works. I'm not saying anything will happen with the 5-month-old, but I think we all know things can happen with a 5-month-old if you have somebody with schizophrenia. And I do not have the support to monitor him the way mental health court would monitor him, or to monitor him, with probation. They can only do so much because they have a heavy caseload. And if he's in mental health court, they can do more. So that's my concern. So I don't know if anybody else has those concerns. I don't know if anybody wants to see if he would be accepted in mental health court.
What would be involved in that, Judge? I'm not too familiar with the process.
Oh, they report weekly to mental health court.
Okay,
They would probably get a case manager, which he needs a case manager to make sure he stays on his medication. Are you on any medication?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have a case manager?
No.
He needs a case manager to make sure he's taking his meds. And this has just been my experience in having clients who had mental health issues, is that they start feeling great, then they stop taking their medications. And the reason why they stop taking their medications is because there are side effects, and they don't tell their doctor about it. And then the next thing you know, my client will be back in court for another criminal case because they're not on any medications. So that, coupled with he's trying to get SSI for his mental health issues, the mental health court would have people that would be able to help him with that. So I don't know if you all want to discuss that. I don't know if, based upon his history, state if you want to consider that or not.
I haven't looked at his history of late, Your Honor.
All right, well, what I see on this is there was a misdemeanor assault case, evading to detention, and he received probation for both of those, and probation in the assault case, and it was dismissed, I'm assuming because he completed probation. And then the evading arrest, his probation was terminated. And then resisting arrest, probation was terminated. And then we have this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all want to look at that. I don't want to set him up.
Well, the state wouldn't be opposed to this.
Okay, because I don't want to set him up for failure.
we're not opposed, Judge.
All right, so if you will go, Ms. Ferguson, can you see if they can do a referral for mental health court for him? And then we'll reset it, do a referral for mental health court. And then if he's accepted to mental health court and you all want to do a motion for new trial, we'll hear it. And if there's no objections, then, because they don't accept you if you have
A plea.
any case, yes.
Okay.
All right, Adam, if you will wait, Mr. Strike,
Hold on, man.
Hi. So do you understand what's going on?
Not completely.
All right, so
I'll talk to
you'll
him.
talk to him?
Yeah.
All right, and if you could tear up the trial court certification for me.
But you're good. So, have a seat. I'll talk to him.
Court is calling 2022 CR 2006, State of Texas versus Christopher Ryan Chandler. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
John
Defense.
Robertson for Mr. Chandler.
And are you Mr. Chandler?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Are you the same Christopher Ryan Chandler who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 2006 for the offense of evading arrest detention with a vehicle on June 16, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
This is on the supplement, Judge. It's
Just 1 second. I don't have a supplement. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled State's Motion to Supplement Pending Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that as well, Mr. Chandler?
yes, ma'am, I do.
And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Christopher Ryan Chandler, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February, March, April, May, June, and July 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True now.
State.
Your Honor, we waived the other violations alleged in the motion to enter adjudication.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am. I was.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're asking, the defendant is, we're asking you to adjudicate the defendant guilty. We're going to dismiss the underlying violations alleged in the original motion to enter adjudication of guilt, and 4 years to do, Your Honor.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then the court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand? All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
24.
You're going to have to start living your life better. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in and out of the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't be that person who's the oldest person at the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I first later with you.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2272, State of Texas versus Megan Hayes Wilhite. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Kelly Piddle.
And are you Megan Wilhite?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Will Height.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amendment Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Megan Hayes Wilhite who was placed on community supervision in 2020 CR 2272 for the offense of burglary of a habitation force on August 29, 2022 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Megan Hayes Wilhite, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April, June, and July 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, miss.
And Judge, it's going to be on the first amended motion to revoke. It's violated condition number 1 on or about the 26th day of September 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Megan Hayes Wilhite, committed the offense of theft in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, miss.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison? Did you understand that? And up to a $1,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 4 and 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violations 4 and 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, Your Honor, we were going to go open to the court. The state was going to recommend 6 years TDC.
All right, so the state is asking for 6 years defense?
Judge, I don't know if she was just sworn. Can I have my client testify briefly?
Yes. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Megan Hayes Will Height.
All right. Just one moment. There's Rattling. All right, who are these people? Are they on the docket? The only people who are allowed in the courtroom are defendants. Sorry about that.
It's okay, miss.
Megan, you understand the state is recommending that you go to prison,
Yes, sir.
and you're asking the court to send you to safety.
Yes.
Why?
I want the opportunity. I haven't been able to get any kind of help when it came to drug rehab, and I really do want the opportunity to be able to get clean. I think it's about time that I do something good with my life, and I believe that safety would be a reasonable option for me to be able to get clean and do the best I can for myself and my family.
What is your drug of choice?
Marijuana and methamphetamines.
Okay, when did you first start using marijuana?
When I was about 14, 15,
When
and
did you start using meth?
methamphetamines about 32 years old,
How old are you now?
38.
Have you ever received any type of outpatient or inpatient treatment?
No, sir.
In regards to the reporting, you didn't report for those months. Why?
I did not have a vehicle, and I had my belongings taken from me, from an individual that I was living with, my phone, everything, all of my email addresses and everything had been changed up. I had no way to contact anybody. And I was just scared to go up to the probation office at that point. I already knew that I'd MTR'd, and I was just scared.
You understand that you could have gone up to probation at any time and they would have helped you and probably assisted you in getting your identification and that type of stuff, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
but you didn't do that, right?
No, sir.
So you were placed on probation when, like last year in August?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't receive any type of treatment?
No, sir.
Okay. And so you're asking for it because you don't want to use methamphetamine.
Most definitely not.
Passwords.
State, any questions?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Ms. Bullhite, you did have an opportunity to review the court summary, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you see here that this isn't your first MTR?
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that at the last MTR, you were told to go to outpatient treatment and that was a part of one of the conditions,
Yes, sir.
and you didn't go?
I don't think that the outpatient was available at that time. They had told me that I was taking classes, but that wasn't, I guess in the, how to explain this? They had me doing certain things at a certain time, and I'm sorry, the outpatient wasn't at that time that I was going. I was going to classes downtown, but it wasn't treatment at that time.
Pass the witness, Judge.
No further questions.
I have a question. What classes are you saying you were going to downtown?
I was going to the theft classes.
All right, so what are you saying happened with outpatient treatment?
I hadn't gone to the outpatient treatment yet.
All right, why not?
I had been working and I didn't have time to do it at that time. I hadn't been able to make time yet.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to get to. One, was outpatient treatment ordered for you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you do outpatient treatment? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
What is your reason for not doing outpatient treatment?
I was, like I said, I was working at the time. I didn't have the time at that period of time. I was going to be making time for it, but I did not have the time at that period of time.
All right. Because, and the reason why I asked that question, because, and if I'm wrong, everybody can let me know I'm wrong. I'm going to take that as a sign of disrespect. But it seems as though you were saying that outpatient treatment wasn't available when the state was questioning you. Did I hear that incorrectly?
No, ma'am. No, not that it wasn't available. It's whenever I was with Ms. Martha Reyna, we were setting everything up. She had me doing the classes at that time, and I hadn't been able to do the outpatient treatment yet. Not that it wasn't available, because it was part of my agreement, but it just, she had me doing the classes. I was checking in and everything like that with her, doing my UAs and everything. I just hadn't done the classes yet for the outpatient treatment.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, Judge.
No, Judge.
All right. Probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is probation requesting?
Your Honor, the recommendation on the court summary is if she is not revoked, then to send her to safe P. I would like to point out this is her second MTR. And as she stated, it looks like she may have maybe entered the theft classes, but they were never completed.
Okay.
So, at least we don't have records that they were complete.
All right, anything else from either side?
Just brief argument. Judge.
All right, then I'll hear argument state. You are requesting 6 years.
Yes, Judge.
Is there anything you wish to add?
Judge, it's just, she's been given plenty of opportunities to attend treatment. Even when answering the questions on treatment today, she didn't really give an answer other than she didn't have the time to do it. She's been given chance after chance. That's why the state's recommending time in TDC.
All right, defense.
Judge, the purpose of probation is to rehabilitate individuals. I understand this is Ms. Wilhite's second MTR, but if she's given an opportunity in safety and she's able to no longer use methamphetamines in the future, then that's the win, that's the purpose. And if safety is successful, then she'll be able to complete the rest of her probation. If it's not successful, she'll be back here and use 10 years TDC. So we're just asking for that opportunity to try to get her to treatment, so she doesn't continue to use methamphetamines.
All right, anything else from you, Ms. Wilhite?
No, miss.
All right, Ms. Wilhite. The problem is, it appears that you have started things, but you have finished nothing. And the problem is, you were given a chance at outpatient treatment and you didn't take advantage of it. I could understand if you did outpatient treatment and it wasn't working. And everyone who comes into this court who's on probation, I always say, if there's an issue, if there's something you have a problem with, if you feel probation isn't addressing it, you can always come to the court and say, Judge, this is not what they're addressing. Judge, I have a drug problem. Can you help me with that? Judge, I have mental health issues. Can you help me with that? We have an open door policy here. You can always come in and ask for that. But you haven't taken advantage of that. I'm going to grant the motion and revoke you. The state is asking for 6. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're asking for 4.
Okay. All right, I'll sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. Is there still restitution owed? Because there were several people
Yes, ma'am.
restitution was to be paid to.
Yes, ma'am.
So did they ever put in any amounts of restitution that were due?
Honor. No, ma'am.
All right, so they didn't put in any amounts, so I don't have any amounts, and if they want to do something with that later, they will have to take it up as a civil matter or somewhere else, but this court is not going to put it in the orders because I don't have anything. There's still to be no contact with the complainants that are previously listed. And let me write those down. If you would like, what I can do is I can recommend for you the therapeutic community. I am not in charge of whether or not they give you or place you in the program. You'll have to still request it, even though I put it on the form recommending it. It will not increase the length of time that you are in custody. So for example, if you're coming up for parole in 2 years or whatever, and you have not completed the therapeutic community portion of it, they're not going to say, well, we're going to give her parole, but since she hasn't completed the therapeutic community, we're going to keep her. That's not the way it works. It's just there for you while you're there. Would you like that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'll order therapeutic community. You're still going to have to ask for it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because this is not a plea bargain agreement, you do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on probation. And state has tendered dismissals in the misdemeanor cases that are pending. All right, is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
That's it. Judge.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Judge.